The second fraction is what you're basing it on. So 1/2 of 1/3. So what is half of 1/3? You're supposed to be looking at you done?
No, you gotta have that. You don't put this on. You put it with it.
Mr. Burrell. On the very last one, let's bring him on the 1/2 of 1/3. Let's bring him to his desk. He's got a really cool way of showing us. We'll bring him on our film for yourself. Show Mr. Burrell. Show him how you figure out the last one. Why did you put those together? Now remember, the second fraction is like what you're basing it off.
Guys, remember.
So make 1 1/3.
Guys, remember to look at the multiplication. Think of the word of. So when you think, say it to yourself, 1/2 of 1.
What's after that?
Or 1/2 of 1/3. Okay? This is going to make it a lot easier when you're trying to prove this, okay?
We'll go over it in a second.
I told you.
I want you to think of that first. Carson's going to show you a way that makes a lot of sense, and I'll show you a way that I can do it with simple.
Good try. Good try. All right, class. Class. Let's listen up. This is going to be kind of hectic, but I want everybody to stand up. Come around Carson's. Come around Carson. Hey, give him some space to breathe, though, okay? Give him some space to breathe. Carson's going to explain to us how he did the last one.
Is it on? Can you see it?
Show
Carson's gonna explain how he did the last one, doing 1/2 a 1/3.
Okay, so
Caleb.
Carson, before you start, make sure everyone can see, make sure everyone can hear you. Hey, now, hey, is Carson on camera? Because I can't see.
yeah, there he is. See. Now some of his face.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, shh. Now listen, only Carson.
Okay. First, you start out with a rhombus and a hexagon. You
Why?
combine because it's 1/2
Caleb.
that and 2/6.
So it's a 1 and 1/3 he's got right there.
Yep.
Okay, he's got 1 and 1/3 right there.
Then you put them together on any side you want. Then you try to find a way to make it like that. There are two methods. One, you could have 8 triangles, or 8/6. You put them together.
Show your way, and then I'll show that way. Okay?
All right. Then you put 2 of these on, and like this or like that. Then you move the triangle to any place, or like that. Then split them apart.
All right. So listen, what he did, he made the same shape using different blocks, and he knows he's trying to find 1/2 of that. So then he split them in half. Okay. But now watch though.
Then you find a way to make that. There's either 4 triangles. Well, my way was using these 2 blocks to make that. So the answer would be 2/3.
The way I thought of it, guys, listen, you have a hexagon and you have a rhombus, right? Think about triangles. How many triangles does it take to make the hexagon?
6.
6. How many does it take to make the rhombus?
2.
2. So total, how many triangles would it take to make that together, the yellow and the blue?
8.
It'd take 8 triangles, right? Now, Caleb, you're trying to find 1/2 of that. What's 1/2 of 8?
1/2 of 8 is 4.
So you'd have 4/6, which is equivalent to 2/3. Okay, so it wasn't as hard as y'all thought. You just didn't get to think about it. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, do me a favor, everyone. Tiptoe back to your seat. I don't want to hear your feet. I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to hear your armpits. No burps. No sneezes. Good job. Hey, let's clap for Carson. Good job.
All right, guys, listen up. I want you to stand up. Everybody stand up.
Hey, Zahi, come here. Come here. Listen. This is going to his college professor. I think she wants to sit there waving to you.
Go ahead and touch
This
your
is his
toes.
formal evaluation, man. Don't wave to the camera, okay?
Scratch your left armpit. Smell your finger.
Nothing.
Jaden smelled his finger. All right, let's sit back down. Let's sit back down. All right, guys. Now we're gonna go division. We're gonna go division. Oh no, this is not as hard as you think it is, guys. I think it's easy. I found it a lot easier than multiplication. Okay. Let's go over our first one. 1 divided by 1/3. Okay. So what are we doing when we're dividing something? What are we doing when we're dividing something? Alexis.
When you divide something,
Don't tell me how. What are we doing? Isaiah, what are we doing?
when you divide, you break them into pieces.
Okay, so we're just breaking them into pieces, right? Now, what's going to tell us how many pieces to break it in? What part of this problem is going to tell us how many pieces to break it in? Jake. The second number. So this number, okay? We're figuring out how many pieces to break it in. We got 1. Okay? 1. We're trying to break it into what size pieces? 1/3. Or rhombus. So we have this hexagon, which is our whole. Here's our rhombus, 1/3, okay? So we're trying to find out how many pieces can we break this into. 1/3 pieces we can break this into. I'm going to give you a little hint like Mr. Jenkins did yesterday. When you see a division sign, think how many times? How many times 1/3 go into 1? How many times can 1/3 go into 1? Okay? Guys, I want you to prove it. Nope. Prove it. discuss with your partner, talk it out a bit, and we'll come back.
How many does it take?
Hey, thumbs up if you have an answer. You have an answer so far? Hey, let me show you one thing real quick. So look, while I'm talking to you, hands off blocks, okay? Eyes on speaker. Let me show you a strategy that's really going to help you. So sorry, can you sit down? Solve it the way that you know how to solve it to check your answer. For example, you have 1 divided by 1/3. Now, how can we make 1 look like a fraction, Jada? 1 is the same as 1 over 1. Now, when we divide fractions, Preston, what do? You think? You're right. I see this stuff. You're right.
Flip the opposite fraction.
We're gonna flip this. Okay, so that becomes 3 over 1. And do we divide?
No, you won't.
We're gonna multiply, right? So we made this a fraction. All right, Caleb. We flip this to make 3 over 1, and you multiply straight across. So look, 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 over 1 is the same as 3. So your answer should be 3. This is a way to double check. Don't do this first. Do this after you get your answer to double check your answer, okay? Thumbs up, you understand? You see thumbs from everybody, right? This is a way to double check your answer, all right?
Yeah, but remember what I said, guys. You got to prove it. Just because you write it down, well, why do you flip the fraction?
This is helping to reinforce what we've learned,
I want you
okay?
to prove it using this. What? We're gonna go with this. Alright guys, let's figure this out. We already know what our answer, we already know the answer is 3. We'll prove it now. Prove it. Somebody prove it. Somebody prove it. Travis, how did you get 3? So we know this.
and you're trying to find out how many times 1/3 can go into 1.
So we're trying to find how many times this can go into this.
It goes in there 3 times to make the hexagon, so